Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Motown's Wrestling Review. I am your host, Tony Motown Allen. And this should be getting uploaded right before the Bears. My beloved Bears are about to play the Green Bay Packers today. Man, and they just pointed out on the NFL Network, my boys there, like so much has happened in Chicago since the 85 Bears. The Blackhawks won three Stanley Cups. The Bulls won 6 championships. The Cubs won a World Series. The Sox won a World Series. We put a man from Chicago in the White House and in the Vatican. I mean, how fucking crazy is that? But honestly, I'm not saying it's gonna happen this year. But I like the buzz that the Bears have got going. I like the direction that they're going in. And man, oh man, oh man. How great would it be to see another World Series in Chicago? I mean, another Super Bowl in Chicago. It eclipses everything that I just said been accomplished. One Super Bowl is bigger than 6 NBA championships. Trust and believe that. But, not here to talk about the Bears. Here to talk about Friday Night SmackDown. And it kicks off with Randy. It's in Germany, so actually I did really good. I got to watch SmackDown without hearing anything that happened in it. I haven't been on social media or anything like that as much as I normally am. Anybody that follows me on social media probably knows I don't post as much as I have been in the past. I don't know. I just kind of like been burnt out on it. And but if you are on Facebook, make sure you join the Motown's Wrestling group on Facebook. Search for MWG. I may not be as active as I normally am, but my first lady is the first lady of Motown's Wrestling group, Ty. She's been holding it down, keeping the things going. I mean, they don't even need me, to be honest with you. As long as you got Ty, you're good. But we'll kick off with this show in Germany. So it was recorded earlier, so it wasn't a completely live show, but it was live to me. Randy Orton comes out, and you got Germany singing his song. And man, it was a really, really good entrance. And then out comes, whoop that trick, whoop that trick, whoop that trick. Trick telling Randy Orton, this is 2026, son. This ain't 2006. And Randy Orton pointed out, I don't know what they teach you at NXT, but you don't turn your back on Randy Orton. That was your one freebie. Don't let it happen again. So it was a good exchange between these two. And all honestly, I don't know how soon we're going to get this matchup, but I'm really looking forward to it. Unfortunately, in this face-to-face, though, The Miz came out and attacked Randy Orton, ended up getting an RKO, but this was after Randy Orton whooped that trick. Randy Orton whooped that trick. But not a bad start and everything to it. But I really am looking forward to Trick Williams and Randy Orton. Though. But I know how WWE is. Sometimes they tease stuff and do it much later. So I'm not sure this is going to be coming up soon, or if this was a taste of what they could do down the road. But I liked it. I liked it a lot. And then we get Trick Williams versus Ray Phoenix, and Trick whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. Trick Williams get the W against Ray Phoenix. It was honestly a pretty good match. I gave it a B. But I gotta say though, sometimes when Trick is standing there with the dreads, the beard and everything, the way he kind of carries himself, it reminds me a little bit of Booker T. Not gonna lie. It reminds me a little bit of Booker. Next up, we have Julia taking on Alexa Bliss, and Charlotte Flair's homesick. Charlotte Flair's, man, she must work at my bank the way she called in sick on this one. Jesus Christ. I just say that because we only had one day this week that somebody didn't call off an entire fucking week. Jesus Christ. But anyway, I digress. But then everybody was making a big deal out of Charlotte not being there, talking about like she intentionally did it. She's leaving Alexa out to dry. So we're going to see how it goes. When they keep mentioning something a lot, there's definitely something that's going to happen with that. I mean, it's going to go one or two ways. Either A is true, or B, unless it's not true, but unless it's going to believe it's true. But either way, this could be the beginning of the end for Charlexa. But the match itself, It was okay. I'm not really big on Julia. And then when she's talking, it sounds like she's another version of Io Sky on the mic when she talks, but not as good of a version of Io Sky, if that makes sense. The match was okay at best. I gave it a C. Julia did get the win with the help of Last Legend, and of course they point out how like Last Legend helped interfere. You had Lash and Nia out there, and Charlotte is not there to help her out, and yeah, Alexa took a beat down. She definitely took a beat down in this though, but gave it a C. It is what it is. It was okay. And then we had an 8-man tag, the Wyatt Six versus My Family Tree, Solo Sikoa's group, and I'm gonna get this match a D. And here's the reason why. It put me to sleep. I had to watch SmackDown today. I had to finish SmackDown today. Now, keep in mind, what I told y'all earlier, it was pre-recorded because it was in Germany, but I made it to the show without hearing anything that happened and everything. Not that I really care about spoilers. It ain't going to stop me from watching it. But I heard the results of the 3 stages of hell today before I watched it because these motherfuckers put me to sleep and I had to wait till Saturday to watch. They get a D. But My Family Tree did get the win, which I kind of figured they would because there's no titles on the line or anything like that. It kind of keeps a few going. But Jacob Fatu, he got the whole world in his hands. Walked out of there with the lantern, the Bray Wyatt lantern. So it was interesting. Next, we have, Jordan Grace is officially with SmackDown. She signed the contract and everything, and then Chelsea Green and Alba Fire kind of interrupted her, and that set up a match with her versus Alba Fire. So the next match is Alba Fire versus Jordan Grace. Actually, really, really good match. I think Alba Fire was a good first opponent for Jordan Grace. I think her NXT run's been lackluster at best. This kind of gives me hope for what they're going to do with her and everything. I kind of hope Jordan Grace kind of get like a Alexa Bliss push where like didn't really do much with her in NXT, but she get pushed out of the world coming out of NXT on the main roster. But Jordan Grace looked good. She did like a cradle slam that was pretty impressive, but of course, they didn't get the win. But her torture rack slam, that shit was nice. That was nice. So I gave this match a B+, really liked it, and I loved the tease. Jordan Grace was walking to the back. Out comes Jay Cargill, kind of do a little walk around on her, and then Jay Cargill reminded her, "You on my show, bitch." And I'm that bitch. Jay Cargill was fucking on point. I love how they doing Jay Cargill. Everything about this was actually really, really good, though. So, well done by Triple H here. Now, Carmella Hayes is going to carry on the Open Challenge, which I like it, but I don't. Like, I don't think everybody needs to do it. It's not one of those things where, like, everybody who wins the U.S. title needs to do the Open Challenge. I mean, we had John Cena doing it, then we had Sami Zayn doing it, then we had Ilya Dragunov doing it, now we got Carmella Hayes doing it. I think you can have some breaks in there. Like, you can have somebody win a title, then they stop, and then the next, I mean, put some breaks in the Open Challenge. But then another Open Challenge was supposed to be a big deal, though. But, no, Miz, like, I'm going to do it, but not right now. No, Carmella Hayes has Dragunov to accept the challenge. He's like, I'm good, bro. Got other shit to do. It ain't your shit ain't really that important to me anymore. But, the person, and then, the one guy from Axiom, I mean, well, they had a thing with the Axiom and the back and everything with them getting jumped. It was just it involved Johnny Gargano. But Carmelo Hayes, he is him. Was waiting for his opponent, and it was Shinsuke Nakamura. Oh my God, take my fucking money. Phenomenal match. Clean win for Carmelo Hayes. He hit the nothing but net to get the win. This match got a fucking A for me. A. If you saw my review yesterday of Monday Night Raw, you know, like, nobody's got an A. This is the first A of 2026. Great job, gentlemen. Thoroughly enjoyed this match from beginning to end. Next up, we had the 3 stages of hell. I heard who won the match, so the only stage I knew the result of ahead of time was the last one, of course. But let's get into it. Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes. Drew McIntyre with the low blow Claymore win for the first fall, which was in a regular match. Even though the referee didn't see the low blow, hey, happens. Second fall, falls count anywhere. Cody Rhodes took him out on the announce table, got the 1, 2, 3. Now we tied up 1-1 as we get ready for the cage match. Now, falls count anywhere, I don't think it's really good for us a match like this, but I like how they did it. Because you can't really fight all over the place because after you beat the guy, you got to get him into the ring for the next fall. They did this good because it was on the announce table right at ringside, so you utilize the falls count anyway because the falls happen outside the ring, but the ring's right there. It's right there, so they didn't have far to go. That's a little thing that I kind of liked about how they did it, even though I still wouldn't have been my choice. I'm going to probably just did like no DQ because essentially the only difference between falls count anywhere and no DQ is you can get a pin outside the ring. But we go into the cage match. I'm going to give them credit and I'm going to give them criticism. And the credit might have been accidental, but still credit. We got blood in a cage match on free TV. Old school blood. Cody's blonde hair turning fucking red from the blood. Thoroughly enjoyed it. But I'm going to have to tap into I got to channel my mad dog here from First Take. If I get another finishing move kick out, strike me down! Fucking solid ass Claymore that Cody kicked out of, and the most egregious one of the entire fucking match. The one that almost got the match like fucking this pissed me the fuck off and I'm done with this shit. Cody Rhodes did a fucking Cody cutter off the cage and Drew kicked out. Really? They even said it was the greatest Cody cutter ever. Obviously it wasn't, because Drew kicked out of it. That thoroughly pissed me off in this match. It was at the point where, like, I was done with this shit. But I did keep watching because it's kind of hard for me to review it if I didn't see it. But then Drew was going to lead the cage, and then there was a guy in the hood waiting for Drew. Take the hood off, it's Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu start fighting with Drew. You think Cody's about to win, but no, Cody gets all fucking like, what the fuck you doing? Like, pulls Fatu off him, and they started fighting. And then while Cody and Fatu were fighting, Drew McIntyre like, deuces. Drew McIntyre leads the cage, win the match, and wins the title. And now Cody Rhodes looking salty as fuck. Good job, Cody. Should have let Jacob Fatu keep beating on Drew and let the cage goddamn self. But honestly, though, it honestly was a good match. Despite the fact that they thoroughly pissed me off in this match, I gave this shit a B. Now we're going to close this out like we always do with the, let's say always do. Like, I know in 2025 I didn't always do it, but 2026 I'm going to do my best to always do it. So we're going to close this out like we always do in 2026. Match of the night, Carmelo Hayes versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Great fucking match. Honestly, match of the night? No, match of the week. Best match of the entire week. I only seen Raw and SmackDown, so my week's probably a little shorter than some of the other wrestling fans. If there was a better match on NXT, Dynamite, or whatever, I'm sorry. I didn't watch them. This was the best match I've seen this week. My tap out moment, and all honesty, and you probably could tell by how much it pissed me off, was the kickouts out of finishing maneuvers, especially out of the super cutter by Cody. You could put on a good match. You don't need these super phenomenal kickouts to make a good match. Macho Man Randy Savage and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat had one of the greatest matches of history, and they didn't do that shit. A lot of legendary matches with Ric Flair that has gone out as greatest matches in history, they have all that shit. You don't need to do that shit to make it a good match. It takes away from the match, in my opinion. And a finisher is not a finisher at that point. But honestly, moment of the night was the finish to the cage match, though. The way they did it with Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre winning the title, especially considering, honestly, did anybody honestly think that Drew McIntyre was going to win the title? So, I mean, you had a good finish, you had the dramatics of it, and you had the surprise. That was really, really, really well done. So, my hat's off to you. Guys, make sure you like the video and subscribe. If you're not in the Motown's Wrestling group on Facebook, make sure you join. That's all I have for now. My next review will be Raw, unless Raw sucks.